I've been sipping on gin and tonics for a while now. Not letting me to buy this game, along with 2 and 3. So I thought I'd give it a go. Do a little streaming. It's been a while. If it will actually let me press start now. What button do you want for me? Okay, it worked.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of green eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey! Jak, old green stuff told us not to come here.
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jak? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly. The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? Jak, I think we're in trouble! Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What? Okay. I'm fine.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
I was...
Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go. Misty Island.
That's right, and then...
And, Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the 3 sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other way north is by foot through the Fire Canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal. You can't just walk through it.
But you could fly over it, if you had a zoomer equipped with a heat shield. I just happen to be working on such a thing at this very moment. All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or 2 stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave adventurer at least.
Brave adventurer? You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
Whew. So.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice at any time during your quest.
Nice. This is one of the defining games of my childhood. Like, I didn't really get into gaming until
These floating egg-shaped things are precursor
PS2.
orbs. Collect enough of them, and some of the villagers will give you a power cell in exchange.
which is a story that kind of brings together my whole, what brought me into gaming in the first place. So way back in the day, I'm like,
this is a power cell, the most important precursor
8 or 9,
you can find.
whatever it is, to the age that I actually was. I'm not entirely sure, because I'm bad with years and age and all that thing, all those things. But I have a very vivid memory of going into a GameStop one day for the first time. First time in a GameStop. And back then they, I don't know if they still do. They probably do in some places. But they had like a game set up, you know, where just anyone could play. A lot more places used to do this, like even Walmart. But anyway, hooked up there, they had a PS2 with the very first Sly Cooper game just in it, and that's when I played that game for the first time, and I fell in love with the series. I did. And while I didn't have a PS2 at the time, the Christmas after this event, we'll say, I got one along with Sly Cooper 1 and Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, I believe. I think that was the title that was out at the time. But this is a console where I gained my appreciation for gaming in general. And I would say it's where my roots come from, as far as this kind of thing is concerned. This game I got like sometime in the PS2 area, not too far after it came out. And it is one of the, like, when you look at PS2 titles, it's one of the ones that mainly comes up, because The PS2 genre, I would say, like, overall was filled with a lot of platformer games, kind of similar to this one. And this one definitely came out on top. There are other noteworthy ones like Slack Reaper and, of course, Crash Bandicoot, but you look at PS2 platformer, this is about the pinnacle. I can't lie, I'm more interested in playing 2 than this one. I don't know if I'll finish this one or if it will go the way of Darksiders,
I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area,
which in my deep downs I wanted to finish, but as I said in those playthroughs, it's really easy to put down that game and not pick it up. A very similar way to this. And it's not because it's necessarily either of those games are a bad games. It's just because it's more of a single player experience that you can pick up and put down at any time. Whereas a lot of more modern games require you to be online every day for daily rewards or whatever. But anyways, hopefully I'll get through this game. I don't think I'm gonna get all the power cells, but I'll probably get a lot of them.
Good work. The blue eco caused the door to open.
Because I do love this game in my deep downs. Because as I said, it's one from my childhood, and it's one I have quite a bit of memories playing, you know. But it's always fun to come back to those kind of games. It's just kind of like looking through a scrapbook, you know.
Energy on the ground are a type of eco. Pick up 50 small green ecos or 1 big green one to increase your health.
This is a game that has influenced me over the years for sure. The opening line, "Even the rocks don't recall," has stuck with me
You can jump once, then jump
for
again in the air
many
to
years.
reach even higher ledges.
And sure, it's just a random piece of dialogue from a video game, but it would take a long time for rock with like a soul and consciousness not to remember something. You know, because you think about these rocks, their life cycle, their entire goal is to become sand, right? Just to be slowly worn away by water and time until you're just a tiny little speck, right? So I feel like a full-blown rock has quite a long time to live, you know? And while I'm sure they don't have the memory of elephants, it can't be too bad.
Good training, boys, but that's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jack? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're, itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine, fine. Adventure away, then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
Somehow finished a drink in the time from when I started to now. So I'm gonna pour myself another, because you know the shin's been going down pretty easy and I don't feel any kind of nauseous or anything, so fuck it. Do I have to work tomorrow? Yes. But You see, I don't have to come in until like 2 in the PM. And also I work at Walmart, so... Should I be drinking right now? Probably not. Will that stop me? No. Has that stopped me? No. Is doing a slightly drunk live stream a good idea? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I don't think I'm gonna say anything too stupid, so we should be alright. Well, his little stretch just caught me off guard. I thought somebody was talking to me.
Hello.
Anyway.
Sage. Hello.
Yeah.
What places can we be?
Yeah, I know you a sage. One of my favorite characters from video games, actually, but I don't really have a reason. The green sage. Because it's kind of interesting, I suppose, what they did with the eco representing the elements and each giving different buff. I don't know.
Hey! It looks like scout flies are always in red boxes.
Yeah, they are, and scout flies are the fucking bane of my existence.
Oh, don't tell me that you two have problems as well. The first I hear of monster sightings near the village, and now this. See those gears up there, boys? See them? See how they're not moving? That means our village has no power. The eco beam coming from the jungle temple has been interrupted. Boys, everyone's too frightened to go out and find out what's happened.
Did you pay the bill?
Yeah. Oh, you're funny. Now look, if you two fix the eco beam, I'll give you a power cell. Oh, and another thing.
A power cell.
If by any chance you're interested in making a contribution to my re-election campaign, I might be willing to part with yet another power cell. The minimum contribution is a very modest 90 precursor orbs.
What's the mayor without a plot for a re-election campaign? The whole point into getting into politics is staying in politics, right? It's not about actually helping out the people you govern or anything, you know? This dude, I think you just give him orbs for money, which is stupid. Overall, I would say. Can't quite tell you why, but it's just beyond me at this point, but it's dumb. I don't like it. But you know what, I don't think it's gonna change. I don't think Naughty Dog's gonna release a patch for this HD remake, making it so that you can't just buy power cells. This guy though, always hella sympathetic.
Hey! Lil furry dude! Oh, I thought for a moment you were my muse.
Your what?
Haven't you ever seen a muse before? It's a little glowing squirrel about your size, full of spunk, and crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
As a matter of fact, without my muse, I just can't sculpt. But with her around, I see beauty in everything, you know? Right now, I couldn't chisel my way out of a box. I think she ran away to that misty island. Oh, I just hope she's all right. It's worth a power cell if you bring her back to me.
Wait a minute! We are not going back to Misty Island! Are we?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
A little cigarette. We're gonna see how far this goes. I don't know if we'll go very far. Let's see. That leads to the beach. It's probably where we need to go. At the same time, I'd very much like to get all these cows in here. This may seem like animal abuse, but just because it is. It's the only way to get them back in. You gotta put the fear in them a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, gotta bring in the crops from the drill back in.
That thing over there is kind of creepy. But it's another orb for power cell kind of dealio. Get in the fence. You know what you're doing is wrong. Like, it's... I know you're just a cow, but at the same time, I feel like you should know that you should be in the fence. Oh damn. You don't even have to hit them. I feel bad for smacking all them cows over the years. Yaks, whatever the fuck they are. Go. Okay, maybe you do have to hit them a little bit. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you probably shouldn't smack animals. It's not a good idea. It doesn't make them happy. Them orbs, so we can get them cells from the purchasing and such. Okay, so dude should be happy we put his yaks back in the pen. Will let us talk to him.
Gotta milk those yak cows. Gotta milk those yak cows. Oh,
all day?
It's you.
Milk them yak cows.
Just resting my tired bones. I've been trying to get those ornery yak cows back into the pen all day. Some strange creatures tried to steal them earlier. You think you could help an old man and try to get them back into the corral?
I think I already did, unless you got more yak cows. Yeah, it seems like all the yak cows, bro. Don't go to sleep yet.
Hey, my yak cows are still on the loose. Could you bring them back for me already?
Oh, we're still missing your yak cow. How terrible. I see. This one I don't even have to put some violence on. See, like I said, they know what they did. They shouldn't be out and about munching on various grasses near the sea. Should be in their fence.
That lazy farmer owes us a power cell.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
Gotta bring in the crops for the drill right.
Furry creature on my shoulder who was my friend.
Oh, well done, my boy.
Or
You
still
actually got
is.
those flea bags back into the pen. Now I can sleep in peace. Take this power cell for your trouble.
Hell yeah. It's like one of those getting a star in Mario 64 moments where you try to reenact the animation that he does, you know? I can't lie, I was trying to grab hella power cells when I was a child. It's 64 stars too, because you know that's an achievement in itself. Which is another very fun 3D platformer, since we're on the kind of similar whatevers to it. I never finished it though. I could never quite get there's like a weird jump you had to do to get this 1 star from the place with all the booze. I can never do it. That being said, I haven't made a serious attempt at Mario 64 in a while. I'm sure I could get through it if I tried nowadays. Yeah, the bird smashes up that power cell and then you have to like chase him, and that's really lame. I had a lot of trouble with that as a kid. These days it's not so much, but you know.
Alright! Treasure!
Back when you only got like a year of gaming experience under your sleeve, things are a lot harder. Fucking woo. Pretty drunk right now, can't lie. Don't eat me, no, don't do it. It's overall a bad idea to eat me, I would say. Would not recommend. Let me tell you, I got this job at Walmart, right? And they have these, I'm sure you've been to Walmart, but these rotisserie chickens, it's literally all I can think about anymore. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter, like, what I'm eating that day. I want a rotisserie chicken just because I smell them all day. It's literally one of the worst parts about the job. Just having these chickens around you all the time, but knowing you can't eat one. I've been telling myself, like, I'm gonna have a day off. I'm gonna get me a chicken. I'm gonna get me some good bread. Maybe some turnip greens, just overall. I don't know why. Shit's good. Don't put sugar in it. Makes it shit. Anyway. In my deep downs, I've been wanting this chicken, and I hope to one day I actually have the give a fuck on a day off to go get one of these chickens. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a rotisserie chicken. Like, I'd be cool with the fried chicken. And you say maybe just go to KFC, but it's not the same. Especially not where I live, because our KFC is hella greasy. It's like unnecessarily so. I'm sure a lot of KFCs are like that, but it's just, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with food where if it's too gross, I can't eat it. And what's defined as gross is too greasy, generally speaking. It's just like, it's so off-putting. It's why I don't like Pizza Hut either. I'd much rather go to Domino's and Pizza Hut just because you get some fucking Pizza Hut pizza and you pick up that slice of pizza and it's just grease dripping off of it. Speaking of pizza, like, also Little Caesars is not that great. It's okay. but I will always describe it as hot garbage. And you can't really, like, you can't eat it cold. It's not good cold. It's worse cold. And I feel like that's 80% of why you buy pizza, is so you can eat it again later, you know? Maybe you don't know. I feel like if you say you know, the other person 100% doesn't know. It's just a certainty. Like, if you're so insecure about what your statement is that you have to say you know, they probably don't know. And now that I think about it, I was trying to keep it low-key about working at Walmart. Not because I'm ashamed of it or anything. Because it is a good job. It's probably one of the better retail jobs that I've had. But I don't want that to interfere with they being like, we know you got a YouTube channel. We don't agree with what you be saying.
Now leave me down here by the egg.
So we gonna fire you. Which I don't know if is a realistic thing.
Oh my.
It's a fear I have.
I hope the poor dear's okay. Here's a power cell for your
And while I haven't been putting much on the channel lately, it is something that I actually care about and I want to keep going.
No.
I don't necessarily care about the money.
Isn't that cute? It thinks you're its mama.
I'm not
Like, I don't expect to make money.
Oh, love at first sight.
But if I did, I don't think it would change much.
I'll take this little kid back to the village with me and work with the sage to take care
As far as actually making money off this, which I don't care about. Like, honestly, if I had a following, I'd probably just keep my YouTube channel unmonetized and make money off Twitch. But as I said, don't expect that to happen, so whatever. I guess just talk about what I want out of this channel, since I haven't really talked about it much.
Let's go kick some big bird butt.
Like I was talking about, the PS2 was my first real console that I just played a lot of. Gaming in my life has been one of those things that that's kept me going. Like, I don't know how in depth I want to go with this, but let's say I've had problems with depression before in my life, and video games have always distracted me and made me feel better about things in general. And if it wasn't for them, life would be a lot more difficult, I would say. So I'm very much thankful that my dad bought me a PS2 for Christmas that one year, you know? Because it's become a staple in my life, and it's helped me through a lot of things that would have otherwise been a lot more difficult. Because when being yourself is a bit too hard, you can always be some miscellaneous character in a video game. Took me ages to realize that you could jump punch those. I guess crouch punch those would be more whatever kind of word, more accurate word. What the? I died?
Did you let my feet?
No. Like, okay, for those of you that don't know, a gin and tonic is just gin, which is vodka with a little bit of like a few spices added or some shit, and carbonated water. And I went to Dollar General, or not Dollar General, but Dollar Tree for my tonic water, and they didn't have just plain, so I got some kind of cherry shit. And it's my first time trying the gin and tonic. Usually I go with the gin and juice, got a little cranberry in there. Not drank a lot of gin recently, but yeah, first time with the gin and tonics, and it hasn't been so bad overall. I'm curious to know if just plain tonic water would be just a whole different experience. It's terrible, but you know, story for another day. Maybe tomorrow. You never know.
Ouch!
Ouch, indeed.
Seagulls! Let's
You know what? Fuck these seagulls. Only need one more and I get that power cell. Be real nice. Halfway to be able to take that scooter thing. Cross to the next area. Oh, this is from scaring the seagulls.
Wow! They caused an avalanche! Let's check it out!
Yeah, they did. Okay. That I don't think we can do till later, and maybe that's where our last scout fly is. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just right here. Hell yeah.
Alright! You found all the scout flies in this area!
Yay! Found all the scout flies. So, I guess we'll have some time back to the early days of my gaming. I got the PS2, right? And I couldn't get past the very first part on Sly Cooper, where you have to jump on the antennas and go to the next area. I just couldn't figure it out because I was dumb, I guess. I don't know. So I ended up playing more of more Crash Bandicoot, we'll say. And it led me to other games just for the PS2 in general. Like, back then, $20 games were much more of a thing than they are now. Like, there are some greatest hits, whatever, you can get for 20 bucks. And there are games you can get for less than 20 bucks. But that was the deal of the day if you had a PS2. If you get those greatest hit $20 games. And it was, well, what really limited me at the time, I was on the younger end of things, you know, I was a kid. God damn it, out again. Anyway.
Don't worry, I'll avenge you.
And my mom wouldn't let me get T-rated or M-rated games, so I had very limited options, you know. It was, like, I'm not angry about it at all. I feel like she was within her rights to do so. But you know, I could have played Jak 2 without becoming a serial killer. More than likely. In fact, I did play Jak 2, despite her objections about the rating at some point. I died again. Expect that to like a medium amount, because those swinging things are deceptive. Because you're like, oh, it's just a little swinging thing. I've encountered those in many a game, but they'll still get you. Snake always reminds me of the one from Robin Hood, like the Disney movie. I'm not sure why. What did it do? Can we jump up here though? Okay, cool. Forgive me. I can't make all the jumps in the world all the time. I'll do it again. For why though? Those rotisserie chickens though, I'm thinking about it again. I don't even know if they're all that great. It's been a long time since I've had one.
Let's go fiddle with them.
Same time, I feel like just a chicken, it can't be bad.
Pointing it at the next tower.
Pointing it to the next tower. Okay, there we go.
Hey, we can follow the beam to find the next tower. Ouch!
Ouch! Indeed. See, told you.
Like it hurt. Should I call for backup?
I'd be doing better, but you know, alcohol. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, I wanted to get a bit more into my gaming history since I haven't really covered that in a video, and it needs to be somewhere, you know. I probably should do it as a separate one. Maybe I still will. I don't know. But you know, PS2 happens. Many a greatest hits $20 game happens.
Step 1. Stay alive.
All within, you know, E to T range, because that's around the age I was at the time, and that was what I was allowed to get. My first M game came with the Xbox 360. Well, I take that back. I had Resident Evil 4, but I don't. That wasn't really when I was allowed to get M games, you know. It was just an occurrence that happened, and that's a good game. If you haven't played Resident Evil 4, you should definitely consider that. But anyway, the first real M game where I was just allowed to have M games was Call of Duty 2 back in the 360 days. Xbox 360. And that's where my Call of Duty journey began as well. While I didn't play the multiplayer, I played quite a bit of the single player. Like it's what I did, you know. Weekend time, no school, time to play through the Call of Duty game, Call of Duty 2 campaign once or twice, you know. Didn't really get into online gaming until I started playing World of Warcraft around early high school, that kind of time. And I played an unreasonable amount of that game that I did. And I still go back to it like once an expansion, you know, just see what's going on. But it's not something that I play all the time anymore. I did play quite a bit during the Burning Crusades time. Played quite a bit of Wrath of the Lich King. Probably the most I've played was during Wrath of the Lich King, which was a really good expansion, and I miss the days where World of Warcraft was battling the undead versus just some demons, you know. Because I enjoyed the storyline that came about with the undead and the Lich King and all that. It feels like quintessential Warcraft to me, you know, going back to Warcraft 3. But the demons and stuff, it's okay, and yeah, it fits, but at the same time, I feel like it's almost a cop-out.
Keep away from those dark eco boxes! Heimlich! Stretcher! Yuck. Breath.
Hopefully I'll stop dying and actually get something done here. Stupid fish, so can we jump up here and then jump up there and then jump up here? We can. Whew. I am looking forward to that after stream sandwich, which generally happens after a stream. So it's not necessarily just for the stream. Like, it's fairly common for me to eat a sandwich after streaming, just because of the times of when I stream. I died again.
Was there something really teary at the funeral? Like, how am I gonna get Shane back now?
I don't know. I am going to kill the first boss before I sign off tonight. That's the goal. If we can ever get through all this bullshit and live, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. We did it! Yeah! Come on. Does it really gotta be this way, though? You know what? On that note, I think I'm gonna end this. I will see you guys the next time I play this game. You have a good night, good day, good whatever it is that you will be having. I'll talk to you next time.